All right, everybody, I can stop trolling you and introduce you to my new car. And I keep looking at it in detail, and I keep finding little things, but that's part of the ownership or buying, a car secondhand. But I bought this car in about a month and a half ago, and the story goes I've been looking for a .1 RS for basically ever since I got rid of one. This is my favorite version of the GT3. So part of the pursuit over the last several years has been figuring out which cars I like the most. I've actually sold my E36, but I love my E92. I love the 2016 GT3 RS. It's my favorite version of a GT car to date. And so I'm kind of working my way toward figuring out the cars that I want, because I'm not very good at collecting. Cars that sit are just not for me. I'd like to have the cars that I love, and the 16 RS. And as soon as I got this thing and drove it down the street, I knew that I'd made the right decision. So I've been shopping for months and months and months. I basically know every single car that's on the market. I search Bring a Trailer, I search Auto Trader, I search the Porsche, pre-owned, certified pre-owned of every dealership in America. I search, cars.com. I search P-Car Market, searching a DuPont registry, Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, just basically every other night. I really wasn't ready to buy one. Every other night, just looking and watching prices, and prices have pretty much been stable for the last several years, and so I've just been searching for one, and then I actually had one that I almost bought, and I probably should have bought it. On Bring a Trailer, there was a Carmine red one with 3,000 miles. It was perfect spec, really cool color. It sold for $209, and I really should have bought that thing, because I'll tell you in a minute when I paid for this sucker. So I've been looking, searching. Where it really wasn't ready to buy it, didn't know where to put it. The plan was to have my touring, have the .1 RS, and then hopefully get an allocation for a GT4 RS, and then eventually get a Carrera GTS as my daily driving car, and kind of have my lineup of Porsches. At least that's where I think I'm headed. So this car popped up on Ryan Friedman's website, and because on Auto Trader, and so that I went to his site and I started looking at it, and I just started thinking, I was like, man, that's exactly what I want. 3,200 miles. Ryan and I are acquaintances, so I have his number. I've sold him some stuff before, and so I sent him a text, say, hey, what's the story on they had a Voodoo and a Golf. Voodoo's a little too baby bluish for me. This is the right color for me. I don't like Mexico or Riviera that most dudes like, the GULF, just not my preference of color. I like blue, like regular frickin' blue. In fact, the purples here are a little beyond the blue spectrum. This is as close to Obsessed Garage Pantone color blue as you can get. So Golf blue has always been my unicorn color. I really thought about doing my Brewster Touring in Golf blue. This is GOLF. But I feel like this color is reserved for a louder looking car, like an RS. So I said to Ryan, I said, what's the story on the Voodoo and the Golf? He says, the Golf is right up your alley. It's darn near perfect. Then my guest said, all right, well, let me think about it. Could I finance the thing? I just bought the new building. We have a lot of expenses coming up with the garage that we're building. So, can we do some sort of collector car financing? So I talked to, Woodside Credit, where you can do, basically a 30-year loan on the car. And I thought, well, this is the car I want. I'm going to probably buy one in 6 months or 12 months. And so why wouldn't I just finance it, and then when I have the cash, just pay that off? So the Woodside was like, I have the cash, but not cash allocated to buy a $200-something thousand car. So it was 10% interest and or 9.5% interest, and then whatever, you had to put 20% down, so 50-something thousand dollars down, 10% interest, and you can pay on it for 30 years if you want. But I just really want to do that. Where Michelle's investing in that house, and so I didn't want to mess up, buying an expensive car, could throw off the mortgage paperwork and all that stuff. So I kind of shelved it, but I just kept coming back. I'm like, this just feels like what I need to do. And then it clicked. I said, well, I walk in the garage, and my Brewster Touring doesn't spark joy. Was it Marie Kondo that does it spark joy? That's the same thing with my E36. It doesn't, I like it. It doesn't spark joy. My Evo doesn't spark joy, but my Evo has a utilitarian purpose at the moment. It's helping me drive down the road. My E92 sparks joy. So I started toying with the idea, what if I traded, because then I wouldn't have tax and I wouldn't have to finance and all that stuff. What if I traded my Brewster Touring for this car? And I was back and forth. No, yes, no. And then when I decided to do it, I texted my buddy Sean and Mike F. and all my Porsche buddies and said, hey, what do you think? And everybody's like, do it. The Dot 1 RS is you. So Michelle said, do it. Everybody said, do it. And so then I had one last thing to do. I had to call Tom at Porsche Wilmington. I said, look, Tom, here's where I'm at. Just explained my conundrum. What I don't want to do is blow up. I said, look, I won't do this deal if this would affect my relationship with the Wilmington dealership. You guys got me an allocation. I bought this car, spec'd it through you. I really like it. I don't love it. You don't know. To me, I don't know that I'm going to love a car until I buy it and try it. And that's part of the fun. That's part of the experience for me. And so he said, let me talk to my GM. So he over the weekend, I sort of thought about the car. I told Ryan, I said, look, I'm Ryan Friedman. I'm thinking about it. What if, and I just posed him a deal. What if I traded you my GT3 Touring for this car? He said, yeah, let's do it. That's a special car. I only deal in special cars, so let's do it. And so Monday, Tom called me and said, hey, we're cool with it. Go ahead, no big deal. So, but out of respect to them, I didn't share this whole process. I didn't want to share it. My Brewster's already sold, so Brian already sold it to somebody who actually asked me about it prior. I talked to him about the car too. So Ryan sold the car like next day, so it never even got on their site, never even showed up on their website. Just there was some of you super sleuths found it before I had even done the deal. Had already figured it out. Then I bought this car and did the Brewster before the deal was even done. It was wild. I had to delete a few of your comments on YouTube. So good job on that. But many of you figured it out early on, and I was really wasn't trying to be secretive. I just, out of respect to my friends at Porsche Wilmington, I'm hoping to get a GT4 RS and many more cars from them in the future. I thought, I'll just keep this to myself and then just announce the car when I get it. And so then I trolled you a little bit on the last wash and talk, and didn't talk about the car. So the Brewster I traded it for $280, and I way overpaid for this puppy. But this is the one I want. So I paid $260 for this. So it was basically a wash from a tax perspective. I was able to get the car that I wanted, and it feels exactly correct. So I'm going to walk you through it. I'm going to tell you what the spec is and what I'm planning to do to it. Not a lot. There's not a lot to do to a GT3 RS. It's not perfect, but it's really good. The paint is, the whole car is covered in PPF. The PPF was done by whoever works. Maybe someone can cue me in on who does the PPF for GMG out in California. But this car, the story is, it was purchased in, I think, Coral Gables, so South Florida. the salesman had entered Golf, G-O-L-F, instead of G-U-L-F. It was supposed to be a G-U-L-F blue car. I don't know if the original guy who was purchasing the regular Golf blue backed out of the deal and the dealership had to sell it to somebody else. But there was an owner in Coral Gables, and then some guy bought it in California, spent a bunch of money on it, and so then I guess maybe that guy in California was a customer, Ryan Friedman. So there are two owners. I'm the third owner of the car from what I can tell, and it's pretty good. I'm going to make it great, and I'm going to do some stuff to it to get to where I want to get it to. So I went through all the paperwork. This is a PSA to you Porsche guys. This guy, these two guys that owned it, spent $40,000 on stuff. Now the GMG stuff makes sense. So I'll show you all this stuff, but I figure I'll kind of take you through this. This used to be like really important to me that I kept all this paperwork, and because Ryan Friedman's a specialty dealer, they actually took the paperwork. But every time I've ever traded a car, they don't want any of it. Right? So I stopped documenting all this crap because it doesn't freaking matter. But it's kind of cool to look at, I guess. I guess I'll keep it for this thing in case I sell it private party. But at GMG, this was in 2018, so it looks like sometime around the time the second owner got the car. He did the GMG, I thought it was a BBI, but it's a GMG bar. They look pretty much the same. It has the GMG center section. If any of you Porsche guys want that, hit me up, I'll sell it to you. I'm going to take this off. I have the full Dundon exhaust to put on the car. It did have harnesses, and they did a track alignment, so I don't like the car this low. I think it looks great sitting still, but when you tuck on an RS, and then if you see this driving down the road, it looks broken. You know, the wheels look all cambered out. It just looks terrible. So I'll come back up probably half an inch. We'll put the preload back into the springs at full droop, and they ride okay like this, but I think it rides better and looks better when you put it at basically factory height, maybe a little bit lower than factory height. I've gone down this road before and done a track type alignment and lowered. The car has factory coilovers, but you do lose the preload. You do lose preload on the stock spring, so really you should add a different helper spring if you're going to do that. I think that's what Motion Engineering does. I think Emotion goes to like KW and a bunch of different toe arms and track arms and upper and lower arms and all that crap. So we'll adjust that. It does have the GMG airfoil, so the little buffeting thing. I don't like how these things look, but I'll probably leave it on there. There's nothing carbon on the exterior, so having that carbon doesn't make sense to me, but I may swap that out. The GMG version is kind of ugly. And then, again, maybe you guys can cue me in who does or maybe somebody's watching that actually did it. It's a really good, it looks like, to me, it looks like S-Tech Dynashield because it doesn't have as much peel as XPEL. Or it could be, I just don't think it's XPEL on this car. It might be Suntech or it might be something else, but it doesn't look like XPEL. But it's a really good edge wrapped, really good PPF install. The problem is, it looks like the second owner did the PPF, and so there's a few minor little rock chips on the front hood. There's one on the rear fender, but I didn't even notice it until I was down here wiping the water from when I washed it. So it hasn't been coated, so there's no top coat on here. I can tell that. It has Clearplex in the windshield, but I'm gonna coat the top of this. The good news, I'll probably do like just a perfect finish, just clean up, and then we'll add the CSU Crystal Serum Ultra and EXO. And then he did all the vinyl wrap, which I'm going to tear all that crap off, which will probably make some of you angry. The only thing I'm sad about is that I can't take the frickin' stupid sticker off, which that makes everybody angry. Heritage, I'm the only person apparently likes to take that sticker off. But that was 20 G's to do all that stuff. And then this is the PSA. Don't take your freaking, these cars need nothing. Spark plugs at 11,000 miles, 12,000 miles. Change the air filters, or clean the air filters, because this has BMC filters. I forget. No, I think .2 RSs had BMC filters. These had paper filters. I still have my BMC filters. I kept them because I knew someday I was going to get one of these again. And so when I do the Dundon exhaust, I take the bumper off. I'll swap the air filters to the BMCs, which are washable. But that's it. Change the oil. And this was a $5,600 look at the car service. So freaking stupid. $5,600. Now, in fairness, there was an alignment in there, and there was a bunch of phantom thousands of dollars, and an oil change, and new tires. So, I mean, I'm all for doing things right, but that's $5,600. Here's another change the coolant for $1,000. Here's another do nothing for $989. Here's another do nothing oil change for $413. And then maybe you can help me with this. So this has a 7-year extended warranty from 2019 to 2026 for up to 60,000 miles, which of course will never hit. This was from Porsche Audi in California, Hawthorne, California. Can I have this warranty, $5,087? Can I transfer this warranty? I mean, I guess I can read the paperwork here. I mean, it was from Porsche Financial Services. So I wonder if I can transfer this. I don't really care about this. I don't buy these things. The engine on this car is 60 grand. I paid 260 grand for this. If the engine blew up out of warranty, then you should have the coin to be able to fix it. But the odds of that happening is very slim. So let's walk around this sucker. So nothing I can do about the little tiny rock chips on there. It's more of like just little glances from dudes driving too close to people, probably down on I-95. I got to get a new front lip. There's a crack that somebody tried to repair there. So I'll probably just buy all new, the two side pieces as well, and just get the new front lip is like $500. I have, these wheels are great. But we'll come up on the suspension like I'd mentioned, and I have a really cool alignment, a precision alignment and corner balancing system. The guy who makes it is coming down from, I think he's in Indiana. He's coming down in September, and we're gonna put the car up on, I don't know, jack stands and do it here in the garage precisely. So we're gonna come up to a little bit lower than factory height. But I have the Vossen Tag Motorsport black wheels, flat-faced wheels, straight-spoked wheels that I had on both my .1 and .2 RS. I still have them in storage with brand new Cup 2s. So I'm gonna take these wheels, put them in storage, and put those wheels on. And I'm probably gonna buy new center lock nuts. They're just not perfect. These wheels have been off a few times for new tires, so I think that it looks like the guy probably had some track miles on this car, which is fine with me, just as long as it wasn't an only track only car, and clearly it wasn't. And so I'm gonna probably swap the nuts for new ones. They're like $400 for a set of new ones. And again, I'm this deep into the car, so we'll do that. So the wheels will come off, my wheels will go on. This goofy black vinyl, I'll take that off. Just not my style. The .1 RSs, the 16 RSs didn't have that. That's from the 2019 RS. And obviously 997 had something like that on the side, so I'm gonna pull that $500, $600 sticker off. And then this back here is where it says in the GMG paperwork, which makes me nervous, so they did paint touch up on it, so clearly it got a rock that slung and hit. But anytime you have a chip, there's a little bit of bubbling around the PPF, and it says they sanded, which makes me nervous. Which means if I polish this thing ever, it's probably going to go right through it, and I'll have to paint it. But whatever. This car, I intend this, just like this car, I intend these to be mine. Never say never, never say forever. That's my new saying. But I think that I'm going to have this car, for quite some time. The PPF tends to bubble on the carbon fiber rear deck lid. So when I first saw the PPF, I'm like, well, I'm gonna have to tear this off and go have Ryan redo it. This vinyl I'll take off as well. Hopefully the vinyl didn't etch the PPF. I would wager this car probably sat in a garage, certainly sat in a garage, and it was in California, so it didn't take too much weather stuff. It's funny though, they put the frickin' exhaust on crooked, so it's off to the right by 2 inches, and then I'll pull this thing off as well, just a sticker. So exterior looks great. Really, the only thing I'm going to do is just probably do a perfect finish, light polishing. We'll coat it, put the wheels on it. I'll recoat the wheels with Armor wheel coating, and then fix the suspension. I'm going to buy I guess it's from the Dot 2, the underbody panel, and then the full done exhaust will go on the car. So this puppy has the option list. So this was a 208 sticker car. So paint to sample is 5,500. It has the leather interior with GT silver, which I would have done, the PCCBs, floor mat option because they're optional, PCCM, sound package plus, fire extinguisher, which I generally wouldn't do, but the fire extinguisher is not a bad thing to have, especially if you ever do take it on the track. Let's see, instrument dials in white, every time, every car, all dudes option white. I have a really cool solution for it in that somebody on Renlist just posted this, but I think it's gagefaces.com or something like that. And so I have a la 911R. He had shown this, that he did this as well. So it's blue, like light blue lettering and black face. So black gauge faces, because the natural version or the stock version of this, if you don't do it in white, is that it has a gray tack, and then the other faces are black. So this would be all faces are black with light blue, like similar color to this, so it'll emit a sort of a light blue hue to it. But the reason I don't like it in white, and I'll show you in a minute, is that it looks like the check engine, like all the lights are on all the time. And so, because they're outlined in black, it just looks terrible. I don't know why everybody loves this. It says it has, HD radio, but there's no wart on top, which is great for stupid XM radio. If you're still listening to XM radio, you gotta get with the times, man. It's like listening to Pandora. Same dude who has Pandora is listening to XM radio. I guess maybe for Howard Stern. But Howard Stern's gone nutty. So front axle lift, I wouldn't option front axle lift, but everybody does. The 23.9 gallon tank, which is a must. It says here that the air vents are painted, but that's not correct. So maybe they changed this. It's the surround of because you can option the air vents painted, which is cool, but it's the surround of, I'll show you in the interior, just the two left and right air vent surround is painted in exterior color, which actually surprisingly kind of like. It has the PDLS in black, which is key. Otherwise, that's a $6,000 or $7,000 change. The key is painted, and then the wheels painted in satin black. So the key is this. I need to get a gray one. I have a gray one somewhere. I just got to find it. So the first thing I did when I got the car, so I was going to I had to ship my Brewster up there, and I had this car, it was in New York City, and so it occurred to me Sound in Motion in Boston is only a few hundred miles away. So we shipped it to Sound in Motion. This car has a, here I am complaining about wasting money. It has a $19,000 stereo in it now. So it has, I retained the factory PCCM, so the factory head unit. It has, under the front seat, it has two Mosconi Picos, so the Pico mono for the subwoofer, and then the Pico multi, I think it's 8-channel with DSP on board. So it has, we decided not to do, so they're digital amps, Class D amplifiers, so I could do it where I didn't lose any trunk space or anything, and it really, really does great. So Dynaudio EsoTech 8-inch in the door, EsoTar 4-inch mid-bass driver, and then the tweeter we moved from in the dash to in the pod, and so did a custom EsoTech tweeter, all active, so all processed through the Mosconi, and then a really freaking cool subwoofer. It's the same subwoofer I had. You guys have been around a long time. Back in 2014, 2015, I did the Sound in Motion subwoofer. So in the passenger footwell, we take up about 5 inches of space. It's a removable sub, so you can pop it out if you wanted to. But it's a down-firing Illusion audio, carbon Illusion audio with a neodymium magnet. So super shallow depth, firing down, and then we use the entire firewall as a baffle. It frickin' rips, man. It's perfect. Because the stereo in this is unlistenable. So interior's GT silver stitch, leather interior. See what I'm saying? So it says that the slats are painted, but maybe the owner swapped it out and had these painted, or maybe they just did it wrong from the factory, which I find hard to believe. And so I actually kind of dig that. Normally I would hate that, because what they normally do is paint the center console and paint too much. So just that little subtle is fine with me. I love that they didn't do goofy matching seat belts to the calipers that all you dudes tend to do. It has GT silver, which is perfect to match the GT silver stitching. Interior's clean. The only thing that I'm probably going to replace would be the door sills. Usually, older dudes, they own these, they have a tough time getting in and out of this. So normally they kick the crap out of the door. On what I'm going to do here is I'm going to replace this with a leather version. So I sent an email to Exclusive Option. They make this in leather, so I can buy it direct from Suncoast, but it's only available in black stitching. So I'm going to order this piece here. This is leather. This piece here is not. This is like a rubberized vinyl. I'm going to leave that alone. We'll do this in leather, and then this is a little. I might just polish this instead of replacing these. But these are in better shape. The bottom of the door looks good, and so I'm going to do this in leather. We'll do this. You can buy this right from Porsche with GT silver stitching in leather. I'm going to buy this piece here, which you can buy in black leather. And then the fuse box holder you can get stitched in leather. I'm going to have Exclusive Option make me a new, you can also tell when you got a bigger dude that has a tough time getting out of the car, because the center console is a little crunchy. So I'm gonna get a new one of those and have that done in leather. It's just a smarter thing to have that in leather than, I like the steering in Alcantara. But because my elbow is always sitting there, I prefer to have that in leather stitched. I'm going to do the Exclusive Option does the center. This doesn't have Sport Chrono, which I like. I wouldn't option Sport Chrono either. And so we'll do that center section in leather. And then I'm going to have Exclusive Option do the center column, or the steering column, in leather. We'll pull the gauges out. So I'll take the steering wheel off. We'll do the center console swap. I'm going to do it leather GT silver. Again, Porsche will sell it in platinum silver stitching, but they don't have it as an option in GT silver from Porsche direct. So we'll just basically probably pull this one off and send it to Exclusive Option, and they'll stitch it to GT silver stitching. When I pull that apart, I'll take the gauge cluster out and then swap the gauge faces from white to regular. To blue that I'm doing. So the stereo is dialed, I have Apple CarPlay, and I have direct digital connection as well. So I have, high res audio. Oh, it does have I didn't realize it has the little bit of surround in the middle too. It's painted in Gulf blue. Radar detector, I already have. I've got the edge guards to put on after I dial in the leather. So the leather's getting a little shiny, and especially on that side, I need to clean that up. You can also tell when people have a tough time getting in and out because the creases in the seat on a 3,000 mile car. There's a specific way to get in and out. I haven't decided yet. This car has the little frame angle adjusters. I'll probably take those out. I don't freaking like that. I don't like how it's sitting back gangster lean. I just want to sit up straight up and down. So I'll take those off. Once I put the edge guards on and dial in the leather, the interior will be good. I have a blend mount, and this car I'm doing the Uniden R8, I think I bought. Yeah, Uniden R8. I don't like doing the full-on laser jammers and all that stuff. So Uniden R8, blend mount, hardwire. Here's our edge guards. And then I've got the lightweight battery. So we'll put this, I always debadge the battery. So this is a anti-gravity battery. I should be sponsored by these guys. I'm always selling these for people. Both of these cars have them in. So we'll lose about 30 pounds. And then it's so much better to have this. I don't have to deal with battery maintainers. I have a little remote control in the drawer there. If the battery ever goes dead and there's a little reserve in here, it just reactivates and then recharges when you start the car. So I don't need to put tenders on them. You could if you wanted to keep it charged, but these hold the charge so much better than a regular, lead acid or nickel cadmium or whatever the heck it is, regular battery. I was able to transfer the, what do you call it? The trunk protector thingy. The floor mats look good. Freaking Porsche. They pulled the wheel weights off, but didn't take their extra sticky off. So they charge $1,000 to mount and balance the wheels, but they don't do it right. So I put this in. The guy already had the C-Tech here. My guess is it's going to be, well, let's take a look. It's probably going to be a bit of a mess under here. Let me see if I can, I'm going to have to do any rewiring of this. Normally you would just bring it out this side because it's closer. But I guess maybe his garage, yeah, freaking figures. Well, there's a couple of zip ties on there. We'll redo that. I wipe that out anyway. So I'll be swapping the battery here this afternoon, I guess. And that's it. So radar detector, edge guards, a few leather pieces, Dundon exhaust. The cage is beautiful, perfectly done. We'll take those goofy angle thingies off that dudes tend to like, new front lip and stuff, and we'll be looking great. Coat it. So I've got, I'm going to make all the videos and all this stuff just to hang in the garage with you, but it just needs some Matty perfecting, and the car is mine. This car just makes sense to me as soon as I drive it down the road. The thing I like about this, it's more raw. I like the look, the front bumper. I like the lack of NACA ducts. I like how these are flush rather than poking out on the dot two. I like that the fender vents for the intake are inset rather than on the exterior. I like it badgeless, so we'll take all the badges off. This car I also have a DSC controller I'll put in as well. My 2020, I actually did goals for this year. My 2024 goal was to drive my GT3 RS in the mountains. So the first thing I had to do was get a GT3 RS, which I have. And the next goal is to be able to go back to the mountains and rip this thing and hopefully go back with my GT Smokies buddies sometime soon. So anyway, this is my RS. More to come. I'll do this 4th of July weekend while my kids are at Destin. I stayed here because I had some stuff to do. And so Michelle and the kids are at Destin and at the beach up there. And so this weekend I'm going to put all these little things on and just tinker with my new love. My old love that now is a new love in a really special color. So this theoretically is a long-term vehicle for me, and it just feels right. I'm telling you, the garage, it smells different in here. You know, it smells a little different than the 16 RS has a certain smell to it that just appeals to me. So, yeah, I'd like to tint the windows too. I like that 70% tint that I did on my Brewster, but I'll probably go to this normal tint that I do. Yeah, it's good. Thanks for watching. More to come on me building the cars that I love and want to have for a long time. See you soon.